Hi everybody, KC0VAI Tom,
This is Katie Zero TLJ Joyce.
April, and it's started the third year of us being here on YouTube. Thanks everybody who
Thanks.
joined and watching, and we're trying to come up with ideas. With the coronavirus pandemic going on, we're trying to stay away from that subject. One thing we've learned a long time ago with our families is try to avoid politics and religion as a subject when you're talking. Usually gets into a nasty argument. So we'll continue on with some ideas that you can do at home with the kids, little arts and crafts. If you have something out there that you do with your kids, put it in the comment line down below, and so we can pass along to other people.
Good morning on that. We thought we'd do a few things. We just listened to our church service. Of course, I'm a florist, so I delivered palms to church. Some of you might have gotten palms today, some of you might not have. And if you're going to do this, you want to do the palms when they are green. These are a few that I did here. This was just done this morning. This one I did yesterday. And then I know a lot of people get the longer fronds. I didn't happen to have those. So I made some out of paper. So we'll show you how to do some out of paper. The first thing I'm going to do, I think, is show you how to do the palm. I think this one is the easiest. If you have your palm here, you want to take your longer fronds. And you want to take probably about 5 of them off here on that. And this last one I always take and put my kind of fingers together and then just peel it in half here. And then your longer ones, if you want to measure them, you can. It doesn't matter. I take the longer ones and start making the top of the cross and the bottom. I just take and flip these over. And then I take the other one. I start where my finger is here and go down. This is going to be the bottom. Decide how long you want it. If you want it shorter than that, you can just make it shorter. And then I do the arms of the cross, and I kind of do the same thing, kind of set it here, and then bring it across like this to get the arms. You got quite a length here, so you can go a little wider here. If you have smaller ones, you'll have to do it smaller. And then here, I just take this and go back and do my other frond. Well, this one got a little crooked here, so we'll readjust it here on that. So that kind of looks like your cross. If you think it's too big, you can push the fronds up or down, however you'd like on that. And then what I do is I take the little side pieces and kind of leave the long part out a little bit. And then I go around it once at least. And then I went behind it. And then I go back the other direction like this. So it kind of, you get your cross shape, and you can kind of adjust your little fronds if you want. And then I took the other piece here and left a little bit in the back here. And then I just went around this way, kind of the little X kind of. And then I went around to the back side here. And then I took my first frond that I started, and then I just tied a knot is all. Oops, of course it broke. Well, we'll just tuck it underneath then. If it broke, just tuck it under, it doesn't matter. It's going to dry and it'll keep its shape then. So. And then what I usually do is kind of go back. If you don't like these, you can cut them off, but they kind of get kind of stringy once they dry. So I just kind of adjust them to the size that I want. Like you can push them back and forth, up and down. Just get the shape that you want, and then you just let it dry. Now these are a little larger because they were a little bit bigger. This one was a little smaller, so you can make any size. That's kind of neat. Okay, next off, you might not have palms, so I went ahead and did some out of paper. I just took regular paper that you write on, and I actually took the 2 pieces. This was the size of it. I just cut them down narrow, about 3/4 to 1/2 an inch on that, and then I just took a little bit of glue and cut it together. And usually when you get the palms, the ends are a little bit curved, so I curved one side. And then you can point it however you'd want on that. And we made them out of paper like this. This one is about 1 inch That's probably about a half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to show you how to fold it. If you have the long palms, you can do the same thing. You usually want to go about halfway, and then I usually take my thumb, and then I usually take the top part, and this is going to be the arm of the cross. I go 90 degrees on that, and then I take this one and I go up on that. We're going to kind of make a box, and then I flip it over, and then you want to do the same thing. You just want to go up again and go like that, and then on the arm of the cross you want to go across. So I went across, and then I usually flip it over, and this is where we're going to make the box. So you flip that through there. Sometimes you gotta, with the paper, you gotta kind of push it a little bit. So you get that to go through, and then you're gonna kind of lock that. So if you feel that, that's pretty tight. And then the first thing you're gonna do is do the arm of the cross on that. So we'll leave that up. So you just want to go through this. This is gonna be one side. And then I usually flip it back the other direction so you don't see the end. And then you kind of adjust where you want that on that. And then the next part is I flip it over on that, and then you're going to do the back side. So it's kind of upside down here. See if we can get the paper to go through. Sometimes you got to push a little bit on it. See, you got the point here coming. And this is going to be the top of the cross on that. So if you can see, I'm going to flip it over here so you can see the top part on that. And then the bottom, you're just going to tuck that in so you do not see that. You can see it come through in the back there. And then what I do is I usually just take and just make those so they flatten out. If you don't want them to, you can leave them that way. On it, you can see kind of where we glued it, but you could put a little flower or something on it, whatever you want on that, and voila, that's how you make a cross. Okay, in case maybe you don't have palms, you don't have the paper, maybe you have ribbon setting around your house. This is an 1.5 inch ribbon here, and it happens to have wire in the sides, and so I went ahead and tried this on that, and I thought that turned out pretty good. That looks pretty neat. You could set that up on your picture or whatever you'd like. And I thought, oh, it'd be cool to see if you could do it out of burlap. I just had a piece of thin burlap here that I had already cut off something else, and I just left the ends. You could cut those off, and I wanted to go ahead and try that. So I didn't think that turned out too bad either. Well, hope you enjoyed this. You don't know what you have at home, so go ahead and check the cupboard out. If you have ribbon, you can use ribbon. If you have burlap, you can use burlap. If you have paper, you can go ahead and do the palms out of paper or the long palm. If you happen to have palms at home, then you can go ahead and use the palms. So hope this was helpful. Each one's going to be individually different, so that makes it kind of cool. And go ahead and post some of yours on the deal, 7-3.
Be sure to tell your friends, neighbors, other hams. Subscribe, hit that bell to get notification when new videos come out. Add comments below. 7-3 everybody.